What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including a real WWE altercation happened backstage, the real reason that John Cena turned heel, John Cena's heel turn was supposed to be saved for Wrestlemania, why John Cena hit Cody with a watch, a tag team announced for the WWE Hall of Fame, WWE Evolution II possibly coming, why Michelle McCool replaced Mickie James on the LFG series, AEW bringing in Kendrick, Lamar, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlelamia XL. Now let's do the intro and get straight into our first story. Now first we looked at major revelations on the John Cena heel turn. At top of today's news, as John Cena's heel turn continues to be the talk of the wrestling world, there's new information coming out regarding the turn, including WWE's original plans and the real reason he actually did turn heel. But first, John Cena's heel turn was supposed to be saved for WrestleMania. As some of the biggest reveals are coming from this week's Observer, with Dave Meltzer reporting on the original timeline for Cena's heel turn. The story that we were told, which is what is being said after the show among people in the inner circle, is that the segment as laid out would have Rhodes turn The Rock down, but Cena wouldn't be involved and would win the chamber. The plan was that the Cena turn with The Rock would have been saved for WrestleMania's finish. John Cena joining The Rock at WrestleMania 41 would have evoked memories of WrestleMania 17, where Stone Cold Steve Austin aligned with the dastardly Vince McMahon and defeated The Rock in the main event. Do you think WWE should have waited for WrestleMania to make this major heel turn go down? Of course, there are always more eyes on the product at WrestleMania, so it would have been much bigger, right? Next up, the real reason that John Cena turned heel. Now it seems that the original plan was for Cody to turn heel, but he refused to do so. But then WWE switched to plan B, which was John Cena. It was reported on the Wrestling Observer Radio, the angle was art imitating life to a degree. Dwayne Johnson legit, when he wasn't going to wrestle and decided to be a part of the Mania build, wanted to be aligned with Rhodes going heel. There are those in the company who believe that the only thing that could have hurt the company would have been a Rhodes heel turn at this time. The feeling is that this current crowd is Cody's crowd. They also reported that they figured that Punk was going to get the slot, but were told it never came down to him as Cena agreed to do it. And I get it, before we all bash Meltzer in the comments, this was actually confirmed by Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful.com, where he retweeted WrestlePurist's tweet saying, "Good morning, this is true." Some WWE fans have been speculating Cody was headed for a heel turn, but if the report is correct, Rhodes is still committed to playing a babyface. And this seems like the right decision, as Cody Rhodes is still WWE's #1 merch seller. What do you think of Cena stepping up, making one of the biggest decisions of his WWE career, right at the end of it, taking one for the team when Cody refused? Next up, why John Cena hit Cody with a watch. And there's also another interesting tidbit of Cena's heel turn, as why did Cena hit Rhodes with the Rolex? Well, it turns out that the Rolex has a very important story behind it. According to the Observer, Rhodes got hit with his own Rolex. The idea is that's the one his father pawned to pay for his acting lessons out of high school when Cody and his sister wanted to try and make it to Hollywood. Now, more than likely, this was not the real watch that was being used to bash Cody's head in. We're pretty sure that the real Rolex that Dusty had to pawn off is kept safe and sound. Next up, John Cena booked for Saturday night's main event. Now, there's a big guest scheduled for the 24th May edition of Saturday night's main event, but will he have the WWE Undisputed Championship around his waist? Bodyslam.net's Corey Hayes is reporting, John Cena has been announced for the Saturday night's main event on May 24th in Tampa, Florida. There's already speculation among some fans and pundits that Cena has to turn babyface before he retires, and if so, could his face turn begin at this key television show, or is it just too early? Next up, a real WWE backstage fight almost happened. And was Shayna Baszler ready to clobber Jade Cargill for real? Well, the Observer is reporting that Jade had backstage heat, reportedly more on the SmackDown side than the Raw side, and that there was a confrontation that took place a few months ago before the Cargill injury involving Cargill and Baszler. It's been confirmed by half a dozen people that it happened, but nobody went into details past Cargill had rubbed enough people in the Raw Women's division the wrong way, and Baszler was wanting to fight her until management found out and calmed the situation down. And the time frame was that when they were doing Baszler and Stark versus Bella and Cargill matches. Shayna Baszler is said to be well-liked backstage, so one has to wonder what upset her to the point of wanting to throw down with Jade Cargill for real. Next up, Goldberg's latest tease about a retirement match. Now it's time for the latest update on Bill Goldberg's rumored retirement match, following Bill Goldberg posting a message on his Instagram post. Goldberg wrote, "I'm back, and a quick note from today, I survived a 3-week break from the gym after my stem cell treatment." So the acronym for today is WTFO. If you know, you know. Now, Goldberg will be working his last match ever in WWE in 2025, but who that opponent may be is still unknown. Next up, AEW vs WWE. Now, AEW's Double or Nothing pay-per-view on 25th May is facing direct competition from WWE. Ringside News is reporting WWE is planning its next Saturday night's main event special on NBC for May 24th, with NXT's Battleground PLE scheduled for May 25th, the same night as AEW's big event. Now, AEW already has enough trouble with its weekly Saturday show Collision when WWE airs PLEs on Saturday, and it'll be interesting to see whether Battleground cuts into AEW's pay-per-view buy rates that night. Next up, a Rey Fenix WWE update. There's big news on Rey Fenix now that one half of the Lucha Brothers is a free agent. Fightful Select recently provided an update on Penta El Zero's real-life brother, noting it's expected he'll be getting WWE medical reviews soon and that WWE is working on merchandise for him. Next up, a tag team announced for the WWE Hall of Fame. Now it's time for the latest news on the 2025 Hall of Fame class, as WrestleVotes is reporting that a 90s-era WWE tag team will join Triple H and Michelle McCool in this year's class. As first reported on today's WrestleVotes radio, sources indicate a legendary tag team is set to join the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2025, the Natural Disasters, Earthquake and Typhoon, a long overdue, well-deserved honor for the former WWF Tag Team Champions. Next up, the real reason Michelle McCool is replacing Mickie James on the LFG series. That's good news and bad news for fans of the WWE's Legends and Future Greats series, but first the good news is, as Deadline is reporting, WWF LFG has been renewed for a second season. 16 new WWE hopefuls will battle it out for a spot on NXT, which airs on the CW. The group will also receive coaching from the likes of The Undertaker, Booker T, Michelle McCool, and Bubba Ray Dudley. However, there's also bad news, as Fightful is reporting that Mickie James is being replaced by The Undertaker's wife, Michelle McCool. According to the report, some of the AEW's production team claimed The Undertaker was instrumental in McCool landing the role. Furthermore, Undertaker was reportedly open to continuing the show if McCool was involved. Now, if The Undertaker was really instrumental in Michelle McCool appearing on the show, it's kinda shitty that they had to get rid of Mickie James in the process. Couldn't they just have both on the show? Next up, will Carmella consider a WWE return? Could Carmella return to WWE after a recent abrupt exit from the promotion? Carmella chatted with Barely Famous, explaining how disappointed and hurt she was that WWE ghosted her during a recovery from a foot injury that sidelined her for months. Carmella mentioned the subject of a WWE return and likened the situation to, why would you want to be somewhere that doesn't want you? It's like you're in a relationship and someone is trying to break up with you. No, don't leave me, I promise. No, you're not wanted in that relationship. It's not for me, and I truly feel that the door is closed. Carmella said she offered to return to the WWE last summer in a non-wrestling capacity while she continued rehabbing her injury. But despite being cut abruptly after a 12-year run in the company, she stated, "I'm not saying forever, it's not like Carmella may never make another appearance. I think that would be great to eventually put my Jordans back on, moonwalk back out there and be in front of the fans. I think someday it will, but right now, it's just not for me. This is the universe's way of telling me that there's something else for you. I'm excited for that." Now, it'll be interesting to see whether Carmella returns to wrestling once her foot heals, but would you ever want to see her back in action? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, WWE Evolution Part 2. That's big news for fans who have been asking WWE to run a sequel to its 2018 Women's Evolution show. Bodyslam.net and PW Nexus reports that there are tentative plans in place for making another Evolution 2. Here's what PW Nexus reported on its Discord. WWE is looking to host an Evolution PLE in the near future. Everything on the schedule is still tentative, but is currently set for 5th July at Mohegan Sun in Connecticut. We'll share more updates as things get confirmed, so stay tuned. This is great news, as WWE's women's roster is bigger than ever, but there's no word if talent from NXT or TNA are being considered. Next up, is AEW bringing in Kendrick Lamar? Could rapper Kendrick Lamar join AEW? That's a rumor making the rounds, as Fightful Select recently revealed that some wrestlers and other figures in AEW have pitched the idea. Kendrick's arch nemesis Drake was spotted at Elimination Chamber, leading to jokes about AEW possibly bringing him in because of that. Next up, Sonya Deville talks hair versus hair match against Mandy Rose. Sonya Deville's hair versus hair match against former tag partner Mandy Rose looked to be one of the more interesting matches at 2020 SummerSlam, but that's until a stalker broke into Sonya's home, sending her world into chaos. And now Deville is revealing what the original plans were for the match and how things had changed. During an interview with Ariel Helwani, Sonya said, "I was supposed to be shaving my head and that was going to lead to a big character turn." While WWE wanted to pull her off television, Deville told Ariel that she was adamant about working a match and that she and Mandy concocted the loser leaves town match. Interestingly, WWE wanted Mandy to lose, but Deville states she lobbied hard for Mandy to win, leading to Deville leaving the ring and becoming an authority figure. Next up, AJ reveals the secret behind his new physique. If you're wondering why AJ Styles looks shredded af on his return, he shared his fitness secrets with Chris Van Vliet. "Everybody thinks I bulked up. I lost weight. I was not any heavier than I was before." As for how Styles did it, fasting is a big part of my diet as well. A 3-day fast, just water, maybe a week before I came back, so I was shredded. The Phenomenal One also seems to be a big supporter of cold plunges and hot saunas based on his interview. If AJ can stay healthy, he'll look better than ever as his in-ring career winds down. And finally, good news for former WWE stars. And last but not least, congrats to former superstars Riddick Moss and Emma on the new addition to their family. Dave Meltzer reported Mike Rallis, 35, the former Riddick Madcap Moss in WWE, and wife Tennille Dashwood, 36, the former Emma, had their first child, a son named Leo, on 4th March. And we're sending our best to the two former superstars. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.